Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I'm your host, Manny Carl, and I have been working hard to bring you some hard-hitting, critical thinking reporting. The reason for my absence for the last couple of weeks is that I've been working on a small expose to expose all of these games that are unregulated by the Federal Trade Commission, and it's time to expose these games for what they are, gambling applications for kids. However, that is not what this video is about, although I have spent a lot of extensive time gambling in casinos and online in order to better research what is gambling, and sadly, I'm down in my money and I need some gambling help. But hey, my take to stock is making me a good amount of money. I also play the stock market, so if you're not investing in Take-Two, Activision, and EA, well, you probably missed the boat, but I would hop on those right now, invest some money in those gaming companies because they are going up, up, up. So far, I've probably made at least $300 on all of them, but all right. So today, we got a release date at the State of the Game for 1.7, and this is going to be your State of the Game update, just so you know. And shock and surprise, it was the exact date that I posted on Twitter and in my last video. August 15th is your release date, so if that's all you were here for, there you go, you got it, and you will be getting some classified gear on that date if you're still playing. Also, if you are just getting your news from me, I believe they said that by the end of each global event, you should have a full classified gear set, so congrats to the community for standing up and making massive listen. I mean, they have listened a little too well in the past. I just don't understand why, they have to do one of the two extremes. Now, it's either feast or famine at massive. There's nothing in between. And honestly, they need to take, and whoever's at the bottom, spin to the left to spin that winker whose head's up the other guy's ass until it pops out, and they can figure out a nice medium somewhere in the middle for the players. A solution that isn't, well, they didn't like our 3 gear pieces per event, so we're just gonna screw it. We'll just give them a whole gear set. Shit, man. Just learn how to piece these things together. Like, just, get a little bit of perspective as to the medium that needs to be. You have a ton of people working on this. It doesn't have to be rocket scientists. You guys are either like, well, let's just go ahead and give them all the loot, or we're going to give them none of the loot. You guys have no idea how to figure out what goes in between. And it doesn't have to be spiteful. It just has to be a happy medium. So now let's go ahead and cover some of the other important topics that the State of the Game covered this week. Now let's go ahead and talk gear sets, because that seems to be the thing that triggered the community the most, and the biggest takeaway from the State of the Game that I've heard about, because I've heard about it nonstop all day, and that is the D3 gear set nerf. And it is, a nerf that is basically the same thing that Massive does every time. They want to make the classified version more powerful, so they're going to dumb down the other version of it so that you want to get the classified gear set. Now, this seems like a classic Massive move. Let's not fix the issue at the top, but make it worse at the bottom so that it looks like the top is the better way to go. Let's not bring things up to a level because it's easier to go down a level when push comes to shove. This is the way Massive works. This is the way they've always worked. I don't know why we're all surprised at it, and we're all sitting there going, why did they nerf it in the first place? They would rather throw off the balance of the game and personally nerf something that didn't need to be nerfed and ruin a complete gear set than actually work on it and figure out a happy medium. So what they did was they took the 30% ballistic shield held off the 3-piece and added damage to elites, which is useless for that gear set. Now, in layman's terms, they took a trait that was useful for that set, being the ballistic shield health, and added a random trait that you could just get on any piece of gear, and it makes it a regular set. This isn't, something that is there. They took a bonus and they added basically just a random piece of gear set, like challenge to it. So isn't the point of the ballistic shield gear set, which this is, to benefit players who use a ballistic shield and give them damage? What's damage to elites going to do for a ballistic shield player in PvP? This seems to be just another random, untested move by Massive to make the classified gear set seem more powerful. I also have no idea what they mean when they say that and I do have kind of an idea what they mean, but they said that the Ballistic Shield gets a PvP modifier where players do 20% damage to shields. Now, they didn't really specify whether it was other ballistic shields, whether players were doing 20% more damage to your ballistic shield, but I have a feeling that the confusion is that they are going to, if you're using the D3 gear set, that you will do more damage to player shields that they have, or the armor, not shields, but the armor. So I don't know why they said shields when it should be armor. So that's where the confusion is. I have no idea what they're trying to say. So I'm guessing it's player armor, because doing more damage to another ballistic shield sounds exactly like something Massive would do. However, because this is a defensive gear set, it should make zero sense to pile on PvP and PvE damage boosts. I have no idea what they're doing. Like, it just seems like they're just randomly doing stuff, and it seems totally random. So whatever they're doing, keep doing it, Massive, because this, if you're not killing your game one way, you're doing it another way. So let's go ahead and break down 1.7 for you. Global event outbreak started on the 15th. The exact time isn't clear. Well, you could clarify that by just doing it as soon as the event starts. Like, I don't know why you have to do that, So they're going to start with the toxic headshot modifier, and it will run until August 22nd. So they're going to have it, and commendations will be activated with 1.7, and it will add a new achievement system into the game. You will be rewarded for your new vanity items, the patches, patches, and you can put them on your character. Now, masks were not shown in the state of the game, and they will remain a surprise, but you will do it based on your performance during the global events. And honestly, I don't see anybody caring about masks enough to come back and play global events, but that does sound cool. I don't know why that global events, like your position as to how well you do in global events, so you're basically rewarding the players that play the most and basically screwing the players at the bottom. So I guess if you're at the bottom, yeah, I guess you're not as dedicated to the game as some people would like, but that is what it is. So character customization station they're adding in. I did a whole tutorial on it. Just head into the terminal, make a right, go up the stairs, and it's there in a locker room, so you can customize your character. That's going to be in there. The encrypted caches will be added to the game that that you can buy them with real money or key fragments that can be collected in game. They contain a ton of vanity items that can be collected by the premium vendor, and a summary how they function is basically you buy a key, you open a box, and you get 3 items, and it can be a random item. So if you hate backpack skins or weapon skins because they're garbage, this is probably not something to you, because most of these encrypted caches that I open contain those skins, and it's just, no, this is the thing that they were like, this is gambling, 21 said it, there's a ton of people out there, Buzz Lightyear said it, or Buzz Lightbeer, sorry, Buzz Lightbeer. I apologize, or Bud Craft Brew, whichever one it is. Basically, they came out and said, hey, this is gambling. So, and that's actually what spurred me on to do this investigation that I'm actually looking into with games like Rocket League, PlayerUnknown's, Counter-Strike, and all these games, because it needs to come out that these are actually gambling, and they have kids gambling, and they need to be regulated by the Federal Trade Commission at this point, because it's just getting out of hand. People are spending way too much money. I actually saw an article online that said that somebody had a gambling problem, and it was because of Counter-Strike. So the first 3 classified gear sets that you're going to have are Lone Star, Final Measure, and Deadeye. They'll be added to the game for the first global event, so go and look for those. And they changed stable weapon talent was changed 10%, so you can get sub 30 weapons, but not an endgame weapon. So there you go. So global event caches, the drop rates have been finalized. You will get 2 guaranteed drops in each cast, plus 1 possible bonus item, 45% chance that it will be a classified item, 43.5% chance that it's a normal gear set item, and 11.5% chance that it is an exotic item. So at least now, those are actually worth getting. So there's also a 12.5% chance that you get a bonus drop, and when you get one, you have a 90% chance that it is a classified and a 10% chance that it is an exotic. So look for the exotic and classified items to be raining down as you get those caches. Now, global event token, the drops have been reworked and fixed from the PTS, so that it will have the same behavior across the board. Encrypted caches, there will be key fragments now of a 20% drop rate. They drop from name bosses and the entire content. Underground, they're not sure of yet. They're still looking for people to test that out once 1.7 goes live, because nobody tested it out on the PTS. Good job, guys. All this time, you guys were supposed to be testing Underground. Nobody cared. The lag investigation is still ongoing, and the reason they did not go into too much detail about this was because they have no idea what it is, but they have at least identified one issue, and that is there is something that's been reported in a lot of videos, and that's a client desynchronization from the server. There are multiple causes that have been identified, and they're currently working on these fixes, so that is at least one thing. I have a feeling that it's going to be that people in the DZ, there's a lack of sync. So one player's instance is actually running at a different rate than another player's instance, and it's causing lag from across the board. So they'll continue to do the investigation and keep us informed on that. So known issues, the adept talent is under investigation because it became an issue for the community during the PTS and some of the other stuff. And finally, they are looking forward to doing a double field proficiency cache this weekend, so they want to get as many players playing as possible, and so they're going to go ahead and do a double proficiency cache this weekend, starting on August 11th and ending on August 14th. So look for people to actually come and play 1.7 and then leave again. That's just the way it goes. So anyways, that is the wrap up for 1.7. I'm actually looking forward to it. I don't know how much time I'm actually going to get to play it, because I've been playing a couple other games and I'm going to have some reviews for you. I've been playing Fortnite. I've still been playing PUBG, but the whole gambling thing has really turned me off. But apparently it hasn't turned enough people off, because the numbers just keep going up for that game. So it doesn't really matter what I think, but it matters what you think. So I've only been playing that game moderately on occasion. But I have been playing Fortnite. It's a fun game. I don't know if I buy it like for that, but I heard that it's coming free in 2018. It's supposed to be a free-to-play game, and there's just so much to do. This game is going to take an immense amount of hours to do. So look for that. I'm going to go ahead and do some tutorials and have some stuff on that, because there's definitely a lack of content for that game out there, especially for those of you who are interested in playing that. It's a third-person cartoony shooter, so look for that. That's going to be good. I like that. That's good. That's good stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching that. Thank you for hanging in with me. I am sorry that I have not kept up on the content updates, but we're going to go ahead and bring you some more content when everything is dropping for 1.7. But if you like this message or this video, go ahead and drop a like on it. Subscribe for more entertaining videos like this. We definitely are looking forward to having some more content. I'm looking forward to gathering some people from the community and doing a Let's Talk on 1.7 once we all get together and we can all see what's going on, and then talk about going forward to 1.8. But that's in the future, so hopefully some of your favorite characters from around the community will be able to join me for that. I've talked to a few of them already, and I've been trying to do this for a long time now, but 1.6.1 was such a joke that I just didn't want to do it about that. So I'm going to do it for 1.7. We're going to do it. We're going to have some people here, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a laugh riot. If you don't know about all the fun that's going on with Warframe, SkillUp has basically brought an entire community into Warframe. It's amazing. Big props to SkillUp for doing that. That is probably one of the most amazing things. He has revitalized a 4-year-old game. Not that it was like needing to be revitalized. I know a lot of people that are playing it, but that is what it is. So big ups to SkillUp, because he did that. It was and I still think that Warframe needs to put him on the payroll, because basically he did for the game what nobody else did. So honestly, that's awesome. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mounty Carl. For all of us here at Gun Brothers Gaming, we'll see you guys next time. Mounty out.